final speaker this morning, before we take our intermission, our next speaker is a world-class leadership mentor to CEOs, visionaries. She is a speaker. She is the best-selling author of Wake Up, Do the Work, Save Humanity, and The Uncommon Leader. She helps high-level leaders align strategy with soul and expand their impact and build legacies they're proud of. From growing up in communist Poland to coaching leaders across the globe, her work is a call to conscious leadership. Today, she shares with us the mindset and method behind becoming the uncommon leader. Please welcome to the stage, Paulina Stankiewicz. Welcome, Paulina. It is great to have you here. Now, your story is absolutely extraordinary. Growing up in communist Poland, where even food was scarce, to now sharing rooms with the biggest leaders in the world, to successfully mentoring CEOs and visionary leaders around the globe. What drove you?
So first of all, thank you so much. And I'm like, my heart is beating so loudly. I can really feel it. I would ask myself, how did I do it? But actually, it's why did I do it? And when I was born in communism, I obviously didn't know I was born in communism. This was the day-to-day. My mom said, we have stamps, let's go get some food. An orange was a gift for Christmas, if you can imagine. And I would share a banana with my brother every once in a while. And it was stressful too, that I may get a lower, part of it, a smaller part of it. So that gave me a huge background and duality and contrast when communism ended and capitalism started. And I remember my first trip outside to Austria, to Western Europe. And I was very thirsty. I was walking, I had some pocket money, which I didn't know what it meant. And I wanted to buy a soda at this little stand. You know that stand that is on the street?
Yeah.
And I could not afford it. And I had this big pain in me that just drove me forward to always, at the beginning, just achieve and get more as this really more survival thing. And as I continued to climb the ladder, I noticed that it's not great. Like the leaders are not there, and it's very much like suppressive environment. And that guided me to later coach CEOs and shows that I can actually support them, and that change needs to happen from the top.
Yeah, change from the top down. That's amazing. So you often say that many CEOs seem to have everything. They have the success, they have the money, they have the influence, and yet they feel unfulfilled. Talk to us a little bit about why you think that is, and why you care so deeply about helping them to reconnect with themselves and find that fulfillment.
Wow, great question. So I had spent 15 years in corporate environment before starting my own business. And I had 15 different bosses, and only one of them actually cared about me deeply. Most of them were scared for their own butts, and they wanted to grow, and they looked up, or they just were terrified to lose their job. So that was the first sort of insight that I got. And as I continue growing, I learned that actually there is this open war between the leaders and the employees. And I also thought as an employee that the CEOs know everything, and they should know everything. And they were also the bad guys, and we were the good guys, the employees. And there's this open conflict, I think, or secret secret conflict. And as I learned more about it, I realized that they actually don't know what they're doing. They are driven by their saboteurs. They are absolutely oblivious to what it really means to be a leader. Just like the parents, how many of you have parents? We all have parents, and they do the best they know with the tools they have. And the same was true for the CEOs. So I learned that they actually don't know what they don't know. And with that, I realized that they seem to be successful, but actually they absolutely are not. And they're disconnected, they're separated, there's a concept of ego, of course, and because of that, they cannot really guide their teams. So it grows even further apart. And because of that, people are unhappy, they come home, they shout, they scream, they argue, and all of that creates what we know from Gallup, that mental health is an issue, and there's just so much crisis going on in that area. So this is why I keep supporting those leaders, because I feel like they need the tools to actually realize that and do something about it.
Yeah, and help close that gap.
Exactly, help close that gap.
Yep. So your clients, they describe your work as both strategic and deeply transformative. Many have multiplied their revenues, but more importantly, evolved personally as leaders. What do you think makes your approach to leadership and growth so uncommon?
I love that word, uncommon, as you could see on the title of the book. The work that I do is not only the strategies and what one needs to do, but it is about reconnecting back to the spirit. And as a graduate of actuary, I understand very well the numbers, and I also learn to understand the magic, and I connect those two. And I drive this concept of the great is the enemy of the good. We all have heard that. And why is that? It's because as humans, and Daniel Kahneman won a Nobel Prize to prove that concept, as humans, we are more afraid of losing what we have than not having what we want. So we settle. And I call this 7 out of 10 life, and not 10 out of 10 life. And that real gap is there. So now imagine you have these brilliant people, CEOs, business owners. They start with a dream. They want to create an amazing impact. And they start to go, and they hustle, and they want to survive, and then they want to get to a Porsche. And then let's say they have a Porsche. And now they will start to, let's not lose it. Let's not make those decisions. Let's not go for it. And as I learned from working with so many dozens of CEOs around the world, they actually are afraid of going for that 10 out of 10. But imagine what happens when at the top, they are settling for 7 out of 10. That means everyone, the whole culture is settling for that mediocre everything. And it actually is not our essence. We want to desire, we want to go for it, right? But that fear is blocking. So this is why I challenge and I invite my clients to really have this amazing vision that they are excited about. And I push them. I always say, to my clients, don't come to work with me if you don't have big vision. And some of them run before hiring me. They ghost me, really important people. They ghost. They don't want to do it.
No, because they want their 7 out of 10 life.
Exactly. They want to feel safe. And I understand that. It's psychologically proven. But those who step in, they have 7 times annual growth. They see the changes. They save their marriages, or they marry someone who they were afraid to marry. All the things happen, and it's just beautiful to watch.
I bet. And you get a front row seat at that growth and transformation, plus the fulfillment of knowing that you helped facilitate it. So good. So you've written a couple of amazing books, Wake Up, Do the Work, Save Humanity, and The Uncommon Leader. What's the core message behind your works, and how do they really build upon each other?
Thank you for asking this. So, Wake Up, Do the Work, Save Humanity, as the title indicates, is all about, well, if we haven't done any work, we must. There is just no way that we are clean and we have this clean pipe and we can actually receive everything and feel everything. So we must first realize that having that awareness, whoa, wake up, like, oh, I created this life. I'm the creator of this life. How did I create it? Oh, wow. And now owning that responsibility to now do the work and work on the inside and on the mindset and on actually rewiring your brain towards that greater good. And that's when you can start saving humanity or actually serving humanity and changing the culture and changing and having a bigger impact. And now the uncommon leader is the next level where those uncommon leaders, I call them uncommon because they want to do that work. And they want to do that work for the higher good. And that is not an easy thing because being a leader really is being in the open. There's duality, there's criticism, there's judgment, there's responsibility. So it really takes someone with a backbone and with the strong why to do it. And I want to eradicate the concept of being alone at the top because actually there are many of us out there, like here in this room as well. And if we can remove that separation and that ego and come together, build uncommon collaborations, then we can really start changing the world together, not all separate.
Yeah, coming together.
Absolutely.
So eradicating that loneliness at the top and building community. Now more than ever,
Absolutely.
The world needs it. So for those who are ready to step in to their power and become that uncommon leader, what's one thing that they can do today?
I would say, first of all, acknowledge where you are and be honest with yourself where you are. And that can be a courageous ask because maybe you don't like where you are right now. And like someone mentioned, and it's a very common metaphor with the GPS, I like to say, okay, see where you are right now, be honest about it. Now, where would you like to go? And now you will build out this map. And now you have a choice of how will you get there? And you can walk, you can take a backpack and walk. You can bike, if you live in Amsterdam, like me, you can bike. You can take a train or a plane, or you can hire a private jet, and that would be me. And then you get there, and you get there faster, you get there slower, but you get there. But the most important thing is start walking, take a step, book that ticket, and just don't wait anymore. Waiting room is no fun.
Yeah, just start. Take action and start. So speaking of starting, if someone does want to hop on your private jet, they do want to connect with you and learn more about your work, how can they find you?
They can find me on my website, paulinastankiewicz.com. I'm on social media, of course, and it's quite easy. LinkedIn is where I mostly hang out, but also Instagram and Facebook. And I think we have a QR code with some goodies for you as well. So
amazing. Grab the free resources.
Exactly.
And connect with Paulina. Ladies and gentlemen, Paulina Stankiewicz.